Okay, good afternoon, and thank you for joining me here at Pitchero today. I'm working from home, so I'm currently sat in sunny Halifax, where the sun is shining. So hopefully it's going to be a good webinar. As I say, my name's Dan Ingham. I'm the Senior Account Manager within Pitchero. It's my job and responsibility to take you through the match fee webinar today. Nice and easy, nice and straightforward. What we're going to do, we're going to show you some slides to go through obviously what we're talking about. We're going to show you some videos as well. Once that's done, we're going to then go into the live demonstration. So I'll go into the admin dashboard. I'll go through about setting up obviously the provider. I'll show you how to do the match fees on the dashboard. I'll also show you how to do the match fees as well in the manager app and show you what it looks like in the club app as well. If you've got any questions, please type your question in the question and answers section. There will be a nice big section at the end where we can talk about the questions. We can go through it. So if anyone's got any questions in the meantime, please don't hesitate to pop it into the Q&A section. And again, we'll come to it at the end as well. Okay, so without further ado, let's get going. So points we're going to cover today. We're going to introduce you to the match fees. We're going to talk about the setup. We're going to talk about how you select players and request payments, how members pay, and we're going to talk about then how to view and track payments, including some new updates as well, which are on there. Okay. So what are the benefits of using the online payments and match fees? As I say, it's just match fees today. So again, if you wanted to know all the things we've come up with, you can go on to pitchero.com and you can have a chat with them as well and have a look at them and see what it's all about. But I think the 5 key reasons, I think as well, me personally, I mean, I'm from a rugby background, I've been involved in rugby for 35 years, I've just stepped down coaching and I'm now in charge of, on the committee and sponsorship and all sorts. So again, I'm fully aware of how clubs work and, the pitfalls and things you come across every day. So it increases revenue. We've all got those people within the club that'll say to you, especially on the match fees, oh, I've got no money, I'll pay you double next week. But then we see them at the bar with a pint. It's always puzzled me that, but they've got no money. And again, I write it down on a bit of paper, even on a beer mat sometimes, put it in my jeans. And again, the wives put the jeans, through the wash. So I've forgotten all about it. And these people very rarely come forward and say to you, oh, I owe you 2 weeks, Dan, or whatever it's going to be. They don't. I think that's just human instinct. But using this way, again, once they've been assigned a match fees, it stays red until they've actually paid it. So again, they can't get away without paying. It's quick and easy, as you'll see today. Dead easy to do, dead quick to do, especially for the captains and the coaches and things. They've got enough to do on the playing side of things, but giving them just a little bit of thing before they go into the changing rooms is good for them. Track and record every single payment as well. So again, a treasurer and things might say, right, what's the payments that have come in, who's paid? Again, this is all digital, it's all online. Everything can be extracted into a CSV or an Excel spreadsheet. It can, as I say, then be put into whatever system they're using for the account. So Sage, QuickBooks, things like that, it can be all done. Process payments 24/7. So again, somebody might have not have paid, you're sat at home on an evening or whenever it may be, you can ask them to pay it again, or they can say, I forgot. They can go in on a Sunday night and pay it as well. They don't have to be present. And again, the big thing, we're all volunteers at these clubs, aren't we? We've all got lives, families and jobs, and we try and make things as easy as we can. So it would just reduce the admin. No more paper forms, no cash, no trip to the banks. I had one club say to me, they collected basically all the match fees throughout the season, and the treasurer was going to bank with just shy of £15,000 in cash. It wasn't until he got to the bank and paid in, then realised if anything had have happened to him, they're not even insured for that sort of money outside of the club. So again, it's just the small things that you don't think of. You just think you're doing a favour to the club by going to pay the money into the bank. But, if anything should happen, it's one of those things. Cash in hand no longer works. I think if COVID's taught me anything, it's a case of I was very old school. I used to go out and I go to the bank and have the cash in my wallet and things like this. And if COVID's taught me anything, it's a case of, well, just use your card to pay or even your mobile phone now. Like majority, probably 95% of companies still, now take it, And you don't want people, again, handling cash, and team captains are responsible for a large amount of cash. And it's a case of, where do I put this when I'm going out to play? It normally goes in somebody's sock, and, you just don't want that really if you can. As we mentioned, handling of cash is just best avoided if we can. Members, as I mentioned before, can easily get away without paying. They all do it, don't they? You know, like we've mentioned before. Difficult to keep track. Again, somebody said to me previously, here's my £5 damn match fee. I've got home and I'm thinking to myself, who will give me that £5 that I've got in my left-hand pocket now? And again, you're having to say, and as soon as you say to someone, you'll give me £5 match fees, they all go, because they think it's comical, yeah, I give you that £5, Dan. And you know full well it's not. And again, the bottom one, captains drink too much, especially if you've had a good win. And some captains decide to buy a round out of the match fees like they often do. So again, it's preventing that. So, introduction to match fees. So, match fees now has been going for well over a year now. It's probably pushing 18 months, if I'm honest. The feedback we've got from some of the clubs, you know, it's revolutionised things. It's made life so much easier for us. No more, you know, trying to jot it down, write it down, chasing people. The biggest thing we've got is extremely easy to use. It really, really is. It takes less than 5 minutes to set up. It really does. And you'll see when we go through today how really straightforward it is. Again, you can do, you know, go straight into it. I'll just trial it with one team just for 1 week, see how it goes, see what you think. And again, honestly, once they start talking about it in the clubhouse, you know, and stuff like that, they'll say, wow, how easy is that to do? You know, and the next thing you know, you'll get the next couple of teams saying, well, we want to use this as well now, you know, make life easy for ourselves as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little video now. This is how we launch things within Pitchero. So again, I'll let you watch this. Okay, so that was a video that we launched it with going back nearly 18 months ago now, just to show you really how easy it is. So again, we'll come into this. Obviously, it goes at quite a speed again. So don't worry, when we're doing this live and we're doing a demo later on, we will go through it step by step. Okay, so what do you need to set it up? So you need a webmaster who's got access to match fees. So that's somebody in your club, tends to be somebody who overall looks after the website, a treasurer, chairman, things like that. So that's what you need. You need coaches or captains who've got team admin access and they use the manager app. And again, you need players and parents who have registered on the website and are using the club app. Okay. How to set this up? Dead easy. So currently at the moment, we're only using Stripe to collect match fees at the moment. Hopefully, don't quote me on this, you'll be able to use Go Cardless hopefully within the next 12 months, but don't quote me, that is something as a business we are looking to do. But at the moment, it has to be Stripe. So Stripe is debit card, credit card, takes American Express, and also uses Apple Pay as well. Okay, so you set up the fees for the team, which we'll show you, and again, you start collecting the match fees as well. Again, another small video. Apparently, oh, this must have disappeared, so I apologize. Things always do go wrong, so that's not a problem. Okay, so selecting your team and requesting payments. So we build the players who've actually played using team selection. We can also add them manually as well in the manager app as well. So if you haven't selected a team, we can just additionally add the players as well. It's completely up to you how you do that as well. This can be done via a desktop or via the manager app. I'm going to show you both ways as well when we go into that as well. Again, if for some reason the videos are not working in this, not a worry though, you've got me and we're going to do it nice and personal as well when we go through. How can players make their payments? Nice and easy. So they go into the club app. As I say, they go into the club app. And as I say, we'll say in the middle of the club app how much your match fees is. They go into the match fee, gives them the game that they've played in. They can say pay. It asks them to put the card details in if they want. It also gives them the option if they want to keep their card details on file as well, so they don't have to put them in every week, so they can pay. Or again, they can just use Apple Pay. So you've got Apple Pay, they press the Apple Pay, go in, put the thumbprint on there, and as I say, away we go. Again, players using the club app, track the payments using the manager app, which will go through and things for you as well. Again, so how to view and track payments. This can be done through the manager app. So again, we can look at the manager app. We can look at things as well. So we can see who's paid, who's not paid. We can still request it. We can then go into the dashboard for the treasurer as well. So the treasurer can then go into the dashboard. He can do all the exporting, or she can do all the exporting, should I say, put it down into a CSV or an Excel spreadsheet, again, and put into their software that they use. And again, there's now an automatic reminder sent out 72 hours after the payment request was sent. So if you send it out, say on a Saturday lunchtime before you go into the changing rooms, again, we can then send it out 3 days afterwards, just automatically for you as well. So in summary, before we go into the live demo, it's quick and easy to set up. We need to enable Stripe. We need to set up your fees, set the amounts, select the relevant teams that are going to be in there, track who hasn't paid, the automatic reminders sent, and then we can use the assignments, transactions, and export tools for reporting as well. Okay, so I see somebody has popped a question in there at the moment. So as I say, we will come back to that gentleman at the end. But what we're going to do now, I'm just going to move into the live demonstration for you guys as well. So what we'll do, we shall just come into here. So this is Pitchero Club that we use, a cricket club. Bear in mind, this is a training site. So some of the information in here is I should say, has been made up. But it will give you a good understanding of what we do and how we do things as well. So when you first log in, a lot of you will probably know this. Appreciate a lot of you as well are all at different standards, as different places as well. So again, there's no such thing as a stupid question. So if you want to ask a question, just ask away. It's not a problem at all, and we'll come to those. Okay, so we'd log into the dashboard like this, and we want to get match fees set up straight away. So the first thing we have to do, we need to set up a payment provider. So left-hand side again, we come down into payment tools. We then go into payment providers. So this is where you would set up your payment providers. Now, bear in mind, because Pitchero is not a bank, as you're all fully aware, we have to use third parties. So these have already been set up because it's a training site. All you would do is click Add Provider. You would click you want to do Stripe, so you click on Stripe. It then takes you away to Stripe's actual dashboard itself within Stripe. You then start to fill all your details out, so it will ask you your club name. How's the club set up? Is it a cask? Is it a non-profit? Is it a limited company? You will set all that information up yourself. It'll ask you the bank account and things where you want to be paid. It will ask you as well probably to have some proofs as well. So you may have to prove that you're a cask or a limited company or a charity. Again, that's all set up through Stripe, but it's really easy to do to get that set up as well. One thing you can do as well, there's nothing stopping you having 3 and 4 different Stripe accounts. So it may be the seniors have their own bank account, so that's one Stripe account. The ladies have their own bank account. The Colts have their own, and then the juniors have their own. So again, just make sure when you're setting up the match fees, it's set up and connected to the appropriate account. Again, so what you can do, where it says here, where my mouse is, it says ACCT. Again, if I just click on the pencil, I could call that there, for instance, if I wanted to, seniors, juniors, ladies, whatever I want to do. So again, when you're connecting the accounts, you don't get confused, and it's really straightforward to do. So again, into Pitchero, into the payment tools, set up a Stripe account. And again, once that's all been confirmed, nice and easy, we now need to start setting up match fees. So match fees, as you can see, is just above. We have kept it separate from the shop and payments for the sole reason of there's going to be that many transactions. If you've got 4 or 5 teams or even more using them, and say you've 11 in your team plus substitutes, you'd be looking at best part of 60 or 70 different match fee payments coming in. So we've kept it separate from shopping payments. So again, it's easier to report them again for your treasurer and things like that. So again, we'll go into match fees and we go into what's known as a dashboard. So bear in mind, this is a training site. A few are already set up. So these are all ones we've set up previously within the system. Okay. You also can see as well, it says there, for instance, senior match fees, and it tells me what sort of revenue. And again, it tells me the people who haven't paid. I can click into them if I wanted to have a look at that. But again, we'll come on to reporting slightly after, because what I want to do now, I want to set up some new match fees. Set Stripe up, so we're coming to match fees. Now add a match fee. You can have as many sets of match fees as you want within this system. So you might have different amounts for league games, for cup games, for friendlies. Again, you can complete set up as many as you want. So what am I going to call this? Well, before we all came on, I set up a couple of fixtures against a couple of all-star teams. So I'm going to call these, for instance, all-star fees. Okay. Oops, helps if I could spell as well, doesn't it? All-star fees. Okay, so that's what it's going to be called. Next. Now, this is where you put the amounts in. So within the Pitchero Cricket Club, if you start the game, for instance, it's £10. You can change that starter to whatever you want. So you could call it, for instance, player, whatever you want, you can change that. But if you're in the starting 11 for me, it's £10. Now, you might have another one. So again, I click option. So I'm going to put here, if you're a student, we're only going to charge you £7. Okay. Again, I'm going to add another option. If you're a junior playing up to the seniors, because you're a junior, I'm only going to charge you £5. Okay. So you get it, obviously you're getting a feel for this now. So again, you might have like £10 a start. If you're a student, you pay £7. If you're a junior, you pay £5. If you're unemployed, for instance, you might say it's just £3 or whatever it might be. But again, you get the sort of picture of what we're trying to do here. So this is where you set up all the different variants of what the fees could be in that team. Okay, I'm now going to click next. It now asks me to add which team. So thing to bear in mind here is you can only have one set of match fees connected with one team at a time. So what you have to do, say if it's a cup weekend, you'd have to take away that team from the cup match fees, from the league match fees, and add it to the cup. Then when the cup game's over, again, you just come into the dashboard and you can amend it. I will show you how to do that as well. That's not a problem. But for this one, as I say, I've set up the teams to say it's the first team. You can see the ones here in grey are the ones that are already connected to another set of match fees. But for this situation, I've set it up against the men's team. So I put the men's team in and I click save. Okay. Don't want to add any more teams to it. Again, you might have senior match fees and it's all your senior teams you're going to put into there. You might have juniors and you add all your 10 junior teams into there. So you just keep going until you've got all the teams in there. And now click next. So it now says to me, match fee. So it's called all-star fees. It's just connected to the first team. Payment provider is card. As I mentioned before, it has to be through Stripe. We've got the three fees as a starter, the student and the junior. Everything's fine. I want to click finish setup. So again, I've clicked finish setup. And if I scroll down to the bottom, we will see there all-star fees. As I mentioned before, if it was a cup game, for instance, and you wanted to remove, all you would do is if you go into them here and you go into teams, you just click the dustbin there at the side and remove them. And again, you can then add the first team to the cup fees or whatever it may be, and vice versa. You just keep going in. And as I say, just making sure that's all what you want. Okay, so we've set it up. Everything's good to go. We've set the match fee up. Everything's good to go. So now we want to start assigning the match fees and things like this. So as I mentioned before, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do it here in the dashboard. But then I'm going to plug my mobile phone in and show you how it works in the manager app as well. So what you do here, you click onto teams. I come down and as I mentioned, it's the first team. So again, we scroll down to get to the team that we need. So we can say here, for instance, Saturday the 26th, Pitchero Cricket Club are playing the West Indies Cricket Club, okay, or the country as it is. So I now click into there. So you've probably all seen this before. You can do your team selection and stuff through here. Gives you all the information you can do. But we're going to go into match fees. So I'm going to go into the match fees now. Now here, because we've not done team selection, it's saying you can add the players that you wanted to do. So for this, I'm just going to do a quick team selection just to show you. So I'll just pick half a dozen players. Hopefully it's going to sort of catch me up. Keep going. I'm going to pick myself. How many is that we've got? That's good. That's good. 8 players is good. So again, publish the team as you would. So again, team selection's gone out on a Friday night. Everything's fine. They've all come back to us. So now if we go into the match fee, again, on the admin dashboard, we can either add players manually or we can use team selection. Just for this on the dashboard, we're going to use team selection. So if I now click use team selection, it now brings up that team. As you can see, we've just picked 8 people. Now, what happens here, it automatically defaults to the highest amount. So bottom left, you can see it says there we're expecting £80 back in, okay? But I know full well, Dan here, who's our ops manager, if I click on Dan now, I know Dan's a student. So again, this is done in the manager app, which we'll show you. And if I just click student there, you can now see Dan's gone down to £7. I now said Joe Blogg's instance is a junior because he's a great player. He's playing up for the open age. Click it there. You can now see he's now gone down to £5. So again, when we first set up the match fees, like I said, you put the different amounts in. This is where you go in before you send them out and make sure each one has got the appropriate details. If you do make a mistake on there, put it down wrong, you can go in and you can amend it, which I'll show you in a moment. So now I'm expecting £72. I now click send. What happens now, all of those 8 players on their mobile phone will get a push notification to say your match fees against the West Indies is now due to be paid. Okay. They then go into their club app. They then put the thumbprint on the pay by Apple paying in real time. It comes back in and it turns down to paid. Okay. So again, that's what happens there. Now, a couple of things you can do. You've made a mistake and actually Dan's qualified now. He's no longer a student. I can now go back to click starter. And again, the assignment's been updated. Click request. And now that's been sent to him now with a new amount on to say that's £10 you owe now as well. So for instance, here, Gino was leaving the club after the game and said, oh, I've left my mobile phone at home. Here's £10 cash. Not a problem. You click into him. You click pay cash, asks you to confirm. I click confirm, and you can now see he's turned green. But if I wanted to add a note there and say, for instance, paid as left club and save that. So when the secretary or the treasurer comes to look at it, it can then also go into it and he can see the note that the captain or the coach has left on to say paid by cash. So again, we can see it all and it's all there as well. So again, we can see what's happened here. We know who's done what. It's gone out, they're going in real time and they then start to pay their match fees as well. Okay, so that's nice and easy to do, nice and straightforward. I was talking to a hockey club a couple of weeks ago and they were saying the best they've done it is from the captain going into the changing room and sending it out to everybody, to all 13 players paying for it. They've done it in just over 3 minutes now. Again, you know, so they sort of challenge themselves, but it is that quick and that easy to do for people to go in and to pay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is plug my mobile phone in. We're going to go into the manager app, show you how to do it in the manager app. We're going to show you what it looks like in the club app. We'll then come back into here, and what we'll then do, we'll show you obviously some of the reporting tools as well. So give me a moment. You'd think in today's day and age, there would be a nice, easy way to show your mobile phone. There isn't, so hopefully this will work. So you'd think this should work. So again, we should get my mobile phone, which we have. Fantastic. So you should all be able to see my mobile phone, hopefully. I'm going to go into the manager app. Now, the thing to remember is, as you're probably all aware, there's two apps. The manager app is for all the people with authority in the club. So that's people obviously like treasurers, chairmen, webmasters, captains and coaches and things like that. The club app is for absolutely everybody else, including those people as well. So I'm now going to go into the manager app. Okay. So again, this is a screen you've got, but for this, we're going to use the game against the England select on Sunday. So again, walking into the changing rooms, the captain, for instance, wants to pick the match fees and wants to do the match fees. So again, he opens up his manager app, clicks the England select game. He then clicks the match fees. So now you're probably noticing, well, hang on, he's played England select here. So if you're lucky enough to have the exact same team that played against the West Indies, you can use that. You could use a team selection if he's done a team selection, or if he wants to do this, add manual players. All he does is click add players. So all you do here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where's me? I'll pick myself again. So that's now been done. He now clicks done. Okay. So as before, like in the dashboard, it now comes up and says, these are all the people, and it's obviously set to the higher amount. Again, as we mentioned before, did we say Joe Bloggs or a junior? So he clicks Joe Bloggs, puts him down as a junior. Gino, for instance, again, so Will, again, we click Will. Will's a student. So again, it's changed. So you can see at the bottom left, it's gone down from £110 to 102 is what we're expecting. As he's walking into the changing rooms, you've seen how quick that is to be to do. He just presses, or she should I say, send. Again, everybody has now got a push notification to say, please pay your match fees straight away. Okay. Again, like before, like in the admin dashboard, somebody's obviously been put down incorrectly. You can go into them, you can change it like you say there. So I can now say, actually, he's a student, want to request it. Again, that's been requested. Come back out of it again. Oops. I can go back in, for instance, here, and I can use Gino again. Gino's forgot his mobile phone again. He's really forgetful, this chap. And again, paid cash, confirm. There you go. Green tick to say he's paid. Difference is with this, if I want to add a note, I'll just go back into Gino. And again, I can add a note, or you can say, oh no, actually, give us that £10 back, I'll pay when I get home. You can delete the cash payment. So again, you've seen how quickly we've done this just by going through this in the manager app. This literally is how quick it is to do. So it will save you hours and hours of time. It'll save you loads of admin work. And again, it's all digital, it's all safe as well. So coming out of the manager app, I'm now going to go into the club app. So I now click into the club app. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to close that down so it refreshes. And I'm just going to log back in because obviously I've sent myself some match fees. So it's just going to load up. He says, there you go. Now, for those eagle-eyed people watching, if you look in the middle now, it now says match fees. So what happened was when I was showing you, I got 2 push notifications on my phone to say my match fees were now due. I've now logged in. I say I've gone into my app and I can see in the middle, your match fees are £20. So if I click view, for instance, like that, it now tells me the games that I've paid or that I've played in. So again, we can see the Saturday game against the West Indies. We can see the Sunday game against the England select. Now, I can pay by card if I wanted to do. So I can go in like this and I can start paying by card if I wanted to do. Again, I can just press pay. It'll ask me if I want, when I pay, it'll ask me if I want to pay for both games as well. So we can do that. And again, it'll ask me if I want to store my details as well. Or again, I can just click into Apple Pay. Same again, just put my thumbprint on and it's paid. Then in real time, what will happen is it'll come straight back into the manager app. And again, you can look, it'll turn green and say Dallingham has now paid his match fees. So it really, really is that quick and that straightforward. So once it's all been set up, he puts all the details in, the captain or manager sends it out, the player then goes into this, and again, he goes in and pays as well. Now, if you've got children, for instance, obviously it would then come up, it would say when you go in, these are your match fees and things for the kids. So don't forget as well, you always tag. So if it's a parent-child account, you always bill a child. So what happens is it bypasses a child and goes straight to the parents. So it would say in the middle again who it's for, but if you weren't sure, if I just click the 3 lines at the side there, and I go into my account, you can see my make-believe kids there, Billy and Felix, but you can see there, Billy and Felix match fees. There's nothing there. You look at my match fees and there's still 2 there as well. So again, this is how the parent and things would pay for their match fees as well for the children. As I say, it really is that straightforward and that quick to do it. So what we'll do now, we'll come back onto the admin dashboard. He says when it decides to catch me up, there we go, fantastic. So we now basically need to have a look and look at some reporting tools. Nice and easy, as we mentioned before, we kept everything completely separate, didn't we, from the shop and payments. So if I go into match fees, again, we've already been into the dashboard here, but we should be able to see at the bottom now, the All-Star match fees. So we can see we've already had £20 because that's the cash payment, and we've had 17 people not paid. So again, I can look at those 17 people here. So it now tells me who they are, it tells me who's paid, gives me the dates and things like this. But what you can do as a treasurer, or for instance like that, if you've got the appropriate access here, what I can do, I can click that again, request all payments, and all of those people who've not paid would then get another push notification. Don't forget as well, though, they get an automatic request, an automatic push notification again after 72 hours. So it might get to say Wednesday, they still haven't paid it. You can go back into here and you can request all payments as well. Okay. So what I'm going to do left-hand side again, if I click into assignments here, this will give you the assignments for everything. So because it's a training site, it's very high, it's 471. But again, if I wanted to chase them, again, in the off season, you're still chasing people, you can request all payments. They then get a push notification as well. So as you can see here with this, once people have been assigned a product, they can't get away without paying. They have to pay, otherwise it stays in this system as well. So again, it's a great way of making sure nobody again can say, yeah, I've paid, or no, I haven't paid. And again, if you come down to transactions, this is a section now where you can actually filter it. Also, I can go in here. It shows me all the transactions that have come through. It gives me the date. It gives me the player and it's paid by. So again, what would happen here, if the player, for instance, was my make-believe child and Felix that I was paying for, it would say Felix Bastion in there and it'd say paid by Danningham. So again, you can see who it's being paid by for who as well. So it does all the reporting and things like that for you. But what I want to do, so I can filter it down. Again, I can filter by date. I can filter by fee. So what we mean by filter by fees, like it's £10 to start, £7 by student, things like that. You can filter by the team. You can filter by the status. So you can filter all by that. But what you can do then is click export transactions. They all get exported into a CSV or an Excel spreadsheet for you. Again, it's on your system, and the treasurer again puts them into QuickBooks, Sage, whatever it may be, and they can put them all in as well. You will get this paid from Stripe as a lump sum into your bank account as well. You choose what days you want that to go into. So for instance, majority of clubs that I know have it paid in the following Friday. So it makes sure everything goes through as well. Following Friday, lump sums paid into the club account. You can again have a look at who's paid by coming onto the Pitchero site, but Stripe also give you a list of transactions as well. So you may have £650 transferred in, and again, it will give you a list of all the people that have paid, but it'll give you a breakdown as well. So again, you've got all those tools as well. So you can take them off Stripe, you can take them off Pitchero. All the information that you need is there as well for you. So that, ladies and gents, is the match fees. I apologise that videos didn't work. I'll have a chat with our techie boys and find out why that didn't work. But as I say, you know, we have been through it personally. We have shown you how to do it. So really, I'm just going to have a quick drink because I think I'm getting a bit of a dry throat. So if you want to start typing your questions into where the Q&A is, we'll spend some time going through them and we'll try and help as much as we can. Okay, so let's start having a look at questions. So Jeremy said here, how many categories of match fees can you have for one team? Again, so you can have as many sets of match fees as you want. That's not a problem at all. You just got to remember it can only be attached to one team at a time. The simple reason is if you had it attached to 2 or 3 different sets of match fees, it wouldn't know which ones to choose and which ones to sort of bill as well. So you wouldn't be able to do that. Okay. Jim's mentioned here, what's the cost for collecting £10? And in your example, at the 20. So, Jim, great question. Because we're not a bank, we have to use a third-party provider. That third-party provider is Stripe. Now, the transaction fees, so if you've got the middle package, which is the elite package, it's 3.3% per transaction plus 20 pence. So don't quote me on this, but for around a £10 payment, I think it's roughly about 53p is what you pay on there, because obviously there is transaction fees and things from Stripe. But the thing you've got to think about there, excuse me, the thing you've got to think about there, though, Jim, is you've only got to collect that one person that doesn't pay. And again, it's automatically paid for it. And the time and things, obviously it does as well, it saves you as well. If you were on the ultimate package, the transaction fee would drop down by a full 1%, so it'd go down to 2.3%. If you're on the free package, it would go up and it'd be 4.3. But to be honest, sorry, 1 minute. Again, if you was on the free package, you'd go up to 4.3%, but I don't think there's anybody that uses match fees that are on a free package. So elite package is 3.3% plus 20 pence. Ultimate package is 2.3% plus 20 pence. Okay. So Jeremy's asked again, do you have a separate signing for the club app and the manager app? Not at all, Jeremy, no. So your sign-in, whichever you use, is the exact same one for the club app, for the manager app, and for the dashboard as well. If you haven't got the appropriate access for the manager app, so if you're just a player trying to log in, it won't let you log in. You have to have team admin or a coach, or you have to be down as a webmaster and stuff to log into the manager app, but it is exactly the same login. Okay. Robin's asked, so here we go. Can you set a rule so that captains don't have to assign fees to juniors each week, i.e. when the under 18s pay half fees? Not 100%, but what I'd probably do on that one, Robin, is if they don't pay, I just wouldn't assign them. So again, when you add the players, it was just seniors. So rather than adding everybody, just add the 8 people that do pay and do it that way. I think that's what you mean, Robin. If not, please come back to me on that one. Can you set a rule so that captains don't have to assign fees to juniors each week? Yeah, or just make sure, if that's okay, or if not, please come back to me on that. Oh, hello, Gordon. Gordon lives very close to me. Gordon's up at Sorby. Gordon, good afternoon. For next sessions, is it best to create a trading team and assign players to that? Okay, so next season, we are looking at being able to do net fees as well as match fees. Gordon, on that, several different ways. What I'd probably do is set up a separate team. And again, I'd call it, for instance, a nets team. And again, you can do it that way. But if you want to contact me directly, Gordon, we can spend some time and we can go through that with that. So, but as I say, nets fees and stuff like that will be coming and should be in place for the start of next season. Okay, so again, keep typing questions. I'll give you a couple more minutes if anyone's got any more questions, and we can obviously then go through it as well. But I think it's, as I say, you know, set up the Stripe, go in, have a look at it, set up the match fees, start it with just maybe 1 team, 2 teams, see how it goes, you know, for friendly, especially for the cricket. I know the rugby and football and hockey and stuff is sort of, it's pushing towards the end of the season now. It'll be nearly the end of the Feb. I know my rugby team, we've only got 6 games left, so that's going to take us sort of into sort of April, really, when our season is done by the middle of April, unless we get any more sort of call-offs with the weather and stuff, which is a very good chance in the UK. Okay, Robin's come back to me. So my team's in a mix of adults and juniors. Adults pay £10, juniors pay £5. Obviously, adults and the juniors are, obviously, adults are adults and juniors are juniors every week. Yeah, okay. I'm wondering if there's a way to avoid having to individual. Okay, yeah, I've got what you're saying now. So basically, I think what you're saying there is, can it automatically recognise that they're a junior? Unfortunately, no, it can't. And the simple reason is because every single age group, every single sport we do have all got different rules and use different things as well. So that's why you do have to go into it manually, unfortunately. So yeah, you'd have to go into that individual and you'd have to change it down as well to say they're a junior and things like that. So, but as you can see, it doesn't take long. It only takes a couple of minutes to do it, if that, you know, the entire thing. So yeah, so the answer to that is unfortunately no, we can't preempt that one. Okay. Yeah, Robin, fantastic. Hopefully that answered your question as well with that. Somebody's put something in chat. Let's just have a look what that was. Adam's had to go. Really, no problem at all, Adam. No problem at all. Again, has anybody got any more questions for me? Would they would like me to go through? As I say, obviously we're here to help as well. If anyone's got any more questions, you can get in touch with your account manager and things like that. You go on to pitchero.com, request a demo again, and somebody will give you a call or give you a demonstration. You can email support@pitchero.com, and again, those people will come through to you and have a chat with you as well in the best place. So, ladies and gents, thank you very much indeed, as I say, for logging on this afternoon. I know you've probably all got busy lives. Hopefully it helped. Hopefully we'll see people moving forward now. Anybody needs anything, please don't hesitate to get in touch. But stay safe out there, look after yourselves, and have a great weekend that's coming up. Cheers, guys.